The average new car destroys about $28,000 of your money before you blink. And most people have no idea it's happening because this loss never shows up as a bill. There's a silent thief built into every new car deal, draining young people's wealth for decades. This video is going to show exactly how new cars quietly destroy wealth number by number. By the end, there's a smarter move that could put hundreds of thousands of dollars back in your pocket. The average new car sold in America right now costs about $47,000 to $48,000. That's not a luxury car. That's the average transaction price at dealerships across the country today. Most buyers finance that car with monthly payments around $730 to $750. Those payments stretch out over 68 months on average, nearly 6 full years of your life. Many buyers stretch even further, 72 months, 84 months, 7 full years of payments. 7 years of payments for a machine that's losing value every single month you drive it. Here's the brutal math nobody tells you at the dealership. The car starts losing value the moment you sign. Drive it off the lot and the car is already worth several $1,000s less than you paid. By the end of year 1 alone, a new car has lost roughly 20% of its value. On a $48,000 car, that's nearly $10,000 gone in just 12 months. $10,000 in 1 year, and you never even saw a bill for it. The losses keep rolling, roughly 15% more value gone in every following year after that. By year 3, that new car has shed about 40% of its original purchase price. By year 5, roughly 50 to 60% of the car's value has simply evaporated. Let's make that concrete with a real example using that $48,000 car. 5 years later, that car is worth roughly $20,000 to $24,000. That means somewhere between $24,000 and $28,000 just evaporated into thin air. Not stolen, not spent on repairs, just gone, silently because you owned a depreciating asset. This is why depreciation is the single largest cost of owning a new car. It's bigger than fuel costs, bigger than insurance, bigger than any repair bill you'll ever see. It's money lost silently, not a bill you ever hold in your hands. And while you're losing thousands to depreciation, you're also locked into that $730 monthly payment. Most people never stop to ask what that money could have become instead. That question, what could this money have become, is where the real wealth destruction lives. Now here's where it gets serious because the debt trap makes everything even worse. When you stretch a loan to 72 or 84 months, something dangerous happens. The car loses value faster than you pay off the loan, creating a gap called negative equity. Negative equity means you owe more on the car than it's actually worth right now. People also call it being underwater, and it's more common than most people realize. Roughly 1 in 5 new car trade-ins carries negative equity with an average of over $6,000 still owed. 1 in 5. That means millions of people are trading in cars they technically still owe money on. And here's how the trap closes. Dealers let buyers roll that negative equity into the next loan. So the buyer starts the next car already $6,000 in the hole before mile 1. They trade again, roll the debt again, and the hole gets deeper every single cycle. This is how a car payment becomes a permanent fixture in someone's life, decade after decade. They're always paying, always slightly underwater, always one trade-in away from digging deeper. And while that's happening, someone else is quietly building a fortune with the money they didn't spend. Let's talk about the opportunity cost, the fortune a new car silently steals from the future. Opportunity cost means every dollar spent here is a dollar that can't grow somewhere else. The gap between an average new car payment and a sensible used car payment is about $230 a month. $230 a month feels small. A dinner out, a streaming subscription? Nothing dramatic, but invest that $230 a month at a 7% average annual return for 30 years. It grows to roughly $280,000. From the difference between 2 car payments, $280,000 built from just $230 a month for 30 years. Now take the full new car payment, that's $730 a month, and invest it instead. At 7% over 30 years, that monthly payment grows to well over $800,000. $800,000 from one car payment, invested instead of spent on a depreciating machine. A car doesn't just cost the sticker price, it costs the fortune that money could have become. That's the wealth destruction most people never see because it lives in a future they haven't visited yet. Here's a question worth sitting with. How much do you think you'll actually need to retire comfortably? Drop your number in the comments because your car choices are either building that number or shrinking it. Now let's talk about what to do instead, because this isn't about driving a junker forever. Nobody is saying to suffer through a beater with no air conditioning and a check engine light on. The goal is to be strategic, to get reliable transportation without surrendering a fortune to do it. The smartest move for most people is to buy a used car that's about 2 to 4 years old. At 2 to 4 years old, the first owner has already absorbed the steepest depreciation hit for you. Remember, a new car loses roughly 40% of its value by year 3. That means a 3-year-old version of a $48,000 car might cost around $28,000. Same engine, same features, same reliability, but tens of thousands cheaper because time did the work. A lightly used reliable car can cost 40 to 50% less than new for something mechanically almost identical. Used car payments average around $500 to $550 a month, significantly less than new. That difference every single month is real money. Money that can start building wealth immediately. If you can pay cash for a used car, even a modest one, you cut the monthly payment to zero. Zero monthly payment means every dollar that was leaving your account now stays and works for you. If paying cash isn't possible right now, the goal is the shortest loan term you can actually afford. A shorter loan means less interest paid, less time underwater, and faster freedom from the payment cycle. Avoid the temptation to stretch the loan just to lower the monthly payment number. A lower payment over more years still costs more total and keeps you underwater longer. And after the car is paid off, keep driving it. Don't trade it in for a shiny new payment. Every month you drive a paid-off car, you're pocketing what used to be a car payment. That money can go straight into investments, an emergency fund, or a down payment on a home. These aren't small redirections. They're the building blocks of actual long-term wealth. The goal isn't to never drive a nice car, it's treasures. It's to stop letting a depreciating metal box drain your future. A car is a tool that gets you from point A to point B, not a measure of your worth. The most financially successful people often drive modest cars because they know what money is actually for. Now let's bring it all together because the full picture is more powerful than any single number. Person A buys a new car at $48,000 and signs up for $730 a month. Over 68 months, they pay back significantly more than the sticker price once interest is added in. By year 5, the car is worth roughly $20,000 to $24,000, a loss of up to $28,000. Person B bought a 3-year-old version of the same car for significantly less money. Person B paid about $520 a month and saved roughly $210 every month. Person B invested that difference consistently and never touched it. Just let compound interest do the work. 30 years later, that monthly difference has grown into roughly $280,000. $280,000, built from nothing more than choosing a used car over a new one. Person A spent their working years paying for a depreciating asset and never saw the cost. Person B made one different decision early and let time and math do the heavy lifting. That is the talk most people never got. The real cost of a new car isn't on the window sticker. It's in the depreciation that evaporates silently, never showing up as a bill you can hold. It's in the debt trap that rolls negative equity from car to car, compounding the hole deeper. And it's in the opportunity cost, the fortune quietly not being built while the payment goes out. New cars aren't evil, But buying one without understanding these numbers is one of the most expensive decisions a young person makes. The average American buys 12 to 15 cars over a lifetime, and these choices compound just like interest does. Get the car decision right consistently, and it changes the entire trajectory of everything that follows. 2 to 4 years old, shortest loan possible, drive it long after it's paid off, follow those 3 rules, and the $280,000 or more isn't a dream, it's just math. And the math has always been on the side of the person who chose used.